With U.S. meat processing capacity crippled, there's a shortage of beef and pork in some stores. I talked to a meat science expert about the myth that we're running out of meat. She says it's not a production problem, but a food supply chain pinch point.
It's not a supply problem if you relate the supply back to the production of the live animal. We have plenty of those, and the interesting part about what's happened is it's kind of become a domino effect. So the first stages of when everything became shut down is we suddenly realized that the metrics that we always see about the number of meals that we eat outside the home, and those went to zero. And so that entire supply chain that's really dedicated to food service didn't have a home. But the other thing is that plants are set up with lines that are dedicated to producing food service products versus retail products. So that was pinch point number one. Then all of a sudden we started to have the plant associated issues.
The president has an executive order now to reopen the processing plants, but what can we expect in terms of the processing capacity? How long will it take to get things back to normal, or will they ever get back to normal?
Each plant has unique circumstances based on its population of employees, based on the approach that it's taking as it relates to testing, employment practices. Employers have to deal with the very real, possibility of people having issues with childcare, having issues with their family, making sure that they feel safe to come back to work, making sure that sick people don't come to work. So it's a tremendous balancing act.
The idea that we're going to run out of meat, that's not going to happen, is it?
I have a hard time believing that would happen, knowing what is occurring on the other side and knowing the effort and the emphasis that's being put in place to get these plants back running up at capacity.